Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Wayne, the Hat Trick Wizzy Webb, and we are back with another podcast just for you. All right, this is Entertainment Exchange, and we love y'all. Across from me is that man, Matt. Say what's up, Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys?
That's it? That's all you got?
Yeah, that's my name, and I'm better than Wayne. And that rhymes. Kind of.
Hey, Matt, see me on the court. Even with a busted leg, I'll still break you off.
And mute.
I
Yeah,
busted it.
and where's the mute button? Because, by the way, we got a new mixer, and I can just mute Matt whenever I want to, and it's so fun.
That's not cool.
Hey, where's the there it is. Let me.
Safety.
Okay.
Okay,
And then
just
there's Guiv. Hey, Guiv, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. And we do love y'all. That was well said, Wayne. I like that.
Yeah, we
I would
love
just
y'all.
like to
our-
say
our
that
audience.
today you cannot see it, but Guy was wearing a super awesome shirt today.
Thanks, Matt.
And it's really soft.
Yes, it is really soft.
What kind of shirt is that?
It's a. Y'all know who David Goggins is?
Moving on. So this is Entertainment Exchange, and we
He's
talk
a
about.
professional pickleball player.
Ouch.
Speaking of sports,
Stop! I didn't even get done with the intro yet. What's wrong with you? This is why I don't invite you to the pod,
Yo,
bro.
y'all just dissed David Goggins. That's
I don't know who he
hardcore.
is. You didn't, and you took too long to explain.
Well, you didn't. All right, let's move on.
You know what, Guiv? I'll give you 30 seconds. Who is David?
David
Da-
Goggins
David
is
G.
a former military. He was in the military, and he's the only man in the world to complete Navy SEAL training, TACP training, that's Special Forces for the Air Force, and Ranger School, Army Ranger School, all three of them. Due to I think he holds a world record for most pull-ups in a day. He did I don't know how many in 17 hours or something like that. He did like 1,000. I don't know. He did a ton. So he's a stud, and he has his own I follow him on Instagram. The guy's like crazy. He did the Moab 240, which is like a 240-mile run or something. He's like this. They call him the toughest guy in the world. Is David Goggins, and he sells like shirts and stuff. And so this is a David Goggins shirt.
so he does all this, and his main purpose is selling shirts.
Well, his main purpose is to motivate
I'm
people to like, you know.
Sounds like a cool
Yeah,
dude. You should bring him
so-
on the podcast.
He's a cool dude. You guys should check him out. He's really cool.
So I can look at him and be intimidated for the rest of my life.
No, and he's not
Right.
what you think. He's not this huge yoke. I mean, he's fit,
Wayne,
but he's not like
you-
a huge yoke
Can
guy.
you run 240 miles?
Not even in my dreams could I run 240 miles.
Okay.
In my dreams, you can do whatever you want, and not even in there, I'd be like, just run 240 miles for no reason.
There are very few people who can run
Just
240 miles.
That's just a lot of miles.
That's
And
a lot of miles.
Holy moly, that's
I
a lot of
fall asleep
miles.
if I'm dreaming about that.
In your
Exactly.
In
sleep.
my sleep.
Inception.
Right, exactly.
Anyways, we're gonna move on.
So shout out to
Goodness,
David
'cause
Goggins. Anyway,
that was longer than 30 seconds, Guiv. You gotta watch your time management, please.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
help us out, man. Anyway, we're gonna move on. And this is Entertainment Exchange. And like I said, we love y'all. We're gonna give you this podcast. We're gonna talk about some sports today. What are we talking about today? Football or
We
basketball?
got some football
It's
today.
football.
We got a lot of football to get into.
And then we're gonna talk about some basketball. Y'all hear that later on in the week. But if you want to hit us up on Twitter at ENT_exchange, hit us up. Let us know how you think the pod is. If you think we're trash, if you think we're cool, if you think we suck, if you think we don't suck, just let us know. Just feedback is feedback.
If you want a link for the T-shirt that Guiv is wearing, he will send it. If you ask.
Guiv will not send it because Guiv is like barren on social media unless he's talking to the group chat. So
Or following David Googlebear.
Goggins.
Google,
That's the one.
that's disrespectful. We have to call him now.
David, I'm sorry if you're listening.
David, if you're listening right now
I'm sorry.
to this podcast.
I'm sorry.
Just so you know, Matt is a redhead, so just take that as it is and do what you want with that information.
What's that supposed to mean?
For these
It means
two
we can't control what you say. You're a loose cannon.
poo-poo heads
Like-
over here.
Am I redhead? Yes. Am I loose cannon? Yes. But does that make me? Yes.
Yes, it does. All right, we're gonna move on to our first topic of the day. Guiv, what that topic is?
Okay, so we're starting off a little bit on a serious note, but it is the biggest news right now in football, and that's Deshaun Watson. So just the kind of an update on everything, because this thing has been growing daily. I mean, for those of you who don't know or are not aware or are not fully up to date on the whole situation, so on Monday of this past week, an allegation came out of a young lady, a masseuse, who was filing a lawsuit or had filed a lawsuit against Deshaun Watson for sexual abuse, sexual harassment. And, the allegation came out, and Deshaun came out with a statement on his IG saying the accusations were baseless, and he looked forward to clearing his name, and there was no truth to it whatsoever. He always treated women with the absolute utmost respect. And so that was Monday. And then Tuesday came, and there were a couple more women that stepped forward with similar allegations using the same lawyer. The lawyer's name is Tony Busby. He works out of Houston, and he's handled a ton of like high-profile cases. Like he defended Rick Perry, and I mean that's it's all on it's in his biography. You guys want to look him up. And then so there were a couple more, with a total of 6 women and 3 lawsuits that were filed on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it came out that there were 12, and I believe 7 lawsuits have been filed so far. And now it's right today is Saturday, and the number of lawsuits I think have gone up to 12, and a total of 22 women total, as far as his lawyer is concerned. And they're all going to be filed in due time. The lawsuits. I mean, But according to the lawyer, he's talked to a total of 22 women who have come forward saying that Deshaun Watson has sexually abused or sexually harassed him in a certain way. So because we're in the state of Texas, the lawsuits are online and they are free information. Anyone can look them up and read them. I read the first 2. I couldn't read anymore. They were the creepiest, like, most unsettling, just disturbing. I'm like, this is terrible. I can't. I just couldn't get through it. If you guys want to look them up and read them, that's fine. They're kind of heavy. A lot of detail, very specific, and they're I probably should have started off by saying this before anything else. We don't know if he's guilty or not. We don't know. We're gonna wait for the evidence to come out and the ruling to come out. I don't know if they're gonna settle. I have no idea. Deshaun says that he is innocent of everything, that he's done nothing, so we'll wait and see what happens. But that's the situation as far as we know it right now.
All right. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Thank you for shedding some light on that. So, I was not as well versed. I knew about all the allegations. I knew there was like 22 women and all that craziness. But we got to look at both sides, right? Because when all this stuff comes out, yes, the women, they have the right to say all that stuff because we have to take that seriously with the utmost seriousness. It doesn't matter how you feel about the person. It could be like someone you look up to your entire life. If this stuff comes out, you gotta take it seriously.
You gotta take it seriously.
I don't care how you feel about this person.
Correct.
And I love Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
But I'm gonna take this seriously because if it comes out that he did this stuff, bro, pack your bags, bro.
We'll talk about that in a second. If these allegations do turn out to be true, what should the punishment be?
No hesitation. He got to go.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 22.
I mean,
women
that's so
and 12 lawsuits. Is that how many it is
so far? And it's going to be more because he can't file them all at once. It's got to be.
It's ridiculous.
And by the way, these are civil, so I'm not really well versed in like law and criminal cases and all that. I mean, I don't know a lot about that. I know these are civil cases, and civil cases are just one person against another. But if the state of Texas, like some of these accusations, I don't want to go into the gory details, but some of them are really bad. And if the state of Texas determines that there's enough evidence, this could turn into a criminal case. And if it turns into a criminal case versus a civil case, he could do jail time if he's proven guilty. So, right. And the state of Texas is looking into it, and the NFL on the other hand is also doing their own investigation. And it doesn't even matter what Deshaun Watson is ruled in. If he could be innocent, but if the NFL determines that there's some culpability, they could still punish him.
There's a lot of investigating.
There's a lot of investigating. Yes, going on. Yeah.
And so on the flip side of that coin, you also have to look at like certain factors about this lawyer and his connection to McNair and all that stuff because they're like buddy. These dudes are like not best friends, but like
such a high profile lawyer. He knows a lot of people, not just the McNairs.
And I understand that,
right.
but I'm pretty sure didn't he used to like live next to him?
I don't know.
Like right next to him or something, like a neighbor or something like that. I don't know.
Idea. I don't know.
It could be speculation. Y'all look it up. Y'all do your own research.
Correct. Exactly.
But when I was, I guess, doing the little bit of research that I did, because I didn't really, it's not that I didn't care, but it's just like, it is what it is. You know, whatever's going to come out is going to come out.
Exactly.
Deshaun Watson's not my quarterback, and I don't know him personally, so at this point, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I did like a tiny bit of research, just like reading some stuff, and then like whatever you would send me or Jeremy would send in the group chat, or we talk about with David. Shout out David, real quick.
We missed.
Hi David.
We've been doing it solo, man. We've been out here just grinding, solo. Anyway, back to the topic. So, on the flip side, just to, I guess, play devil's advocate or whatever, like, number one, we know Deshaun Watson. We know what he means to the city of Houston.
Right.
And it's like,
he's a pretty stand-up dude.
He's a good dude. We know like what he does for the community and all that stuff.
Yep.
And so to hear this stuff come out, I was like,
it's pretty shocking.
pretty shocking. And the timing of it all, you're like,
Pretty sketchy.
he wants to get traded.
Yeah.
They know he's not gonna be there, and they know he's disrespecting the Texans' name, which I don't even think he's disrespecting. I think the organization did that on their own. Just
The staff
Bill
is
O'Brien,
disrespecting.
Easterby, I mean, they're like all of them. They're just not good at what they do. So, and I think on the flip side, it's just like, let's just take one more stab at Deshaun Watson before he's out the door. You know, just to tarnish him just a little bit before he's out the door. Because even if you throw these allegations, there's 22 allegations, right? Toward 22 women.
22
12
women.
allegations.
So far.
So far.
But there's going to be more, yeah.
If you can get like 2 of those to stick, 2, that just on his way out the door, yeah, you take that with you. You did that.
Here's my problem with that,
And
though.
so,
I don't
and
know.
Matt,
so
go ahead.
I'm
Matt,
not,
go
I'm
ahead
not
and then I'll
saying
go
that it's
after
like
you. Go.
I'm not saying that you should lean heavy into that side, but I'm just saying like there's always a flip side to the coin. You have to look at both sides, and I mean with everything. Even if the person that's going up is like not Deshaun Watson, it's just like some really bad person, which is like, oh, we just don't like that person.
Hitler.
You have to stop. This
You
is
said
why I
bad
don't.
person.
This
That
is
was
why
the
I
first
don't.
person that came to my mind.
You want to look at the flip side to Hitler? Is that what you want to do right now? There was no flip side. This man was just evil, pure evil, straight up. He had no
Folks,
justification.
I would like you to know that I was not talking about Adolf Hitler.
Who are
I
you
was
talking
talking about his long lost nephew.
Nope, stop it. Nope, stop right there. Stop.
Hey, where's the mute button? There it is. Matt is muted.
Mute.
Matt has been
And
muted.
mute. Okay.
How, it took us only 11 minutes to mute
He
Matt.
actually hit the mute button, too.
You're
I
muted,
love it.
Matt. Don't talk.
He lives in USA.
My gosh, bro.
There is.
11
You
and a
don't
half
know that?
minutes.
It's
Do I care?
Anywho,
Yeah.
Do I care?
I
Not that I don't care about him as a person, but do I
Look,
care about him?
Matt, go
as a-
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Give us
Jeez.
your
look
input. What do you
to
think?
say that an already I am not on board with the Texans organization. I love the team, but
The front office, yeah.
the front office,
Yeah.
my goodness, they have done some trashy,
Yes.
sketchy,
Yes.
super bad stuff. But to have a person or a front office, go out and find a whole bunch of people to just start throwing out some random allegations, I think that's pretty far off. But at the same time, it has happened before to where some person, didn't like a certain person. They made about an allegation, and then a couple more people wanted to jump on it to hopefully get something, So, will it be something like that? Nobody knows.
And I'm not saying it's going to be something like
could
that.
it be that
but-
Deshaun Watson actually did all this stuff?
It could be.
It could be. Do you know if most of these people filing these are from Houston? Or
They're all
are
over
they
the country.
from-
All over the country. He's flown in girls from Atlanta. They're not just from Houston. Some of them are, but not all of them.
I don't
So
know. That
he's flying
seems-
them in.
He's flying them in. And here's another.
See,
That
and
seems- that
see,
seems
the
really
more
weird.
the more
Yeah.
the news comes out, you hear more stuff. So if he's bringing them in,
Yeah.
this is kind of like I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is this person, but it's similar, or
Yeah.
not like super similar.
There are some aspects that are
There's
similar.
some aspects of it
Yeah.
that are like Epstein.
Oh, with the island?
No, not even with the island. What did you watch the documentary
No.
on Netflix?
No.
So he had a house in
Oh.
where is it, Florida?
Oh,
I don't know.
gosh.
Yeah, and I mean he would just get people
Let's
to come
not go
over.
down- I don't
I'm
think
just
that
saying,
it's down this
I
trail.
didn't say it was exactly like that, but I'm just saying if he's flying girls in
I don't think it's
to
anything like that, to
massage
be
and
honest.
do all this stuff, like
Yeah.
that's exactly what Epstein did.
Let me talk about the Texans really quick because a lot of people are saying what you're saying, and I get it. Like, it looks bad that Deshaun requests a trade. Deshaun didn't want to be there. He's adamant he wants to leave, and then
And
What?
then all this stuff comes out.
and then a
That's what
month
I'm saying,
later,
it
so
looks fishy.
it does look fishy. But let me say this, because I can't see. I get the whole personal thing, like trying to taint Deshaun's name because he wants to leave, so we'll show him. But it doesn't help the Texans football team to do this. In fact, it hurts them because this hurts Deshaun's trade value. Teams now can try to trade for Deshaun on 70 cents on the dollar because look at all this mess that's
or they might
attached
not
to
even be able to get anything for Deshaun.
well, that's
'Cause he might
the
get
other
booted
thing
out.
too. Exactly. If all these allegations come true, he could very well be banned from the NFL. Easy.
Oh yeah,
because-
that's easy. That's no question.
Forever. And if he gets banned from the NFL, the Texans get nothing for him. Nothing. All they do is get their money back that they paid him.
So either
So
this
they-
is either them being like, we don't care, we need to do right by these women, and make sure that they get the justice that they deserve,
Exactly.
or it's just we don't care, we just want to send you off, and at least give you a little tarnish on your name.
But I thought
as
they
you
didn't
leave.
want to send him off.
But well, that's the other thing too. The Texans have said they don't want to trade him. The problem is that Deshaun said too he's never playing for them again. So it's either he sits out.
Well, I mean, people have said that before as well.
I agree with that too. Like, and we
Because-
don't know this because we don't know where Nick Caserio is the GM of the Texans. We don't know. I personally think he was waiting till draft. He was now. Who knows? But he was waiting till the draft day to trade Deshaun because if he trades him on draft day, he can get an extra year of draft picks. Because a team is only allowed to trade 3 years worth of picks at a time. Like the Panthers can't trade the 2026 number 1 overall pick because that's 5 years from now. They can only trade up to 2024, I think.
Right.
But on the draft day, they can trade 2025 picks too. So I think that's what he wanted to do.
Well,
But again, just my opinion.
I
I
think,
don't
and
know.
I was hoping that they were gonna go out and get a whole bunch of good assets, like they started doing with like Mark Ingram and a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then
Andre Roberts.
Deshaun Watson would see that they're actually
Also,
doing their job.
yeah.
And
Hey,
he would
we've got some
wanna stay.
competency in the front office finally. And here's the other flip side too: is if they really wanted to tarnish his name, they could have waited. And if they were planning on trading him, they could have waited till they traded him.
Yeah,
And then come out with all this stuff. That's why it makes no sense for them to do it now. That's why I get the whole personal thing, want to tarnish his name, but the timing is not
the
that
timing
good.
is bad for both
For-
reasons.
Right.
Like it could be bad because like, oh, you wanted to wait till he was wanting out to bring all this stuff up, but then it's also bad because like
It
you could
hurts.
have waited.
You could have gone
until he was gone.
Exactly.
And got as much as you could for him,
and
and
then
dropped it.
Right. Yep.
Either way, it's just like, goodness, this is a bad situation.
bad
man. This is
situation.
a really bad situation. I
Yes.
mean, on one hand, I'm like, bro, Deshaun, if you didn't do this, I hope they clear your name, bro. I hope that all this stuff drops and you can go
Right.
wherever you want and have a good rest of your life with your girl and you chilling, play some good football because you're a great quarterback.
Yep.
But then on the other hand, bro, if you as so much as like did the slight like made one person feel uncomfortable, bro, get out, bro.
Yeah.
Peace out.
It's messed
And I
up.
don't care how I feel about Deshaun Watson. At that point, like you have to, number one, get the justice for those people, whoever you hurt, get that justice for them, and you got to be disciplined. There's no way I'm gonna let you just walk out of here scot free after what you just did.
Exactly.
Nah, bro, we ain't playing like that.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a good dude. There's something you got to pay for. So go ahead, get it out the way, move on, take your lumps and move on, dog.
Now, does he have a wife or girlfriend?
He has a girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've been together for like a year.
I don't know. But these allegations, I think the first one, the earliest one that's come out so far is March of 2020, which is about a year ago.
About a year ago.
Now, I don't really
Sorry.
know all that much about like law and punishment or whatnot. But if it turns out that these allegations like weren't true, like none of them were, is there any backlash on the ones
Absolutely.
filing?
He can. As far as I know,
Can he sue them?
He can countersue. I think is what you do, and it's for all the and he could get a lot because
He would
this
get
is
a
Well, because-
second bag.
yeah,
It
absolutely
it tarnishes his name if it
Yep.
if it's there, if it's true or not true. Like even if it turns out that none of it's true, that's still gonna stick to his name.
correct.
So
Yep. So he can be like, "Oh, y'all tried it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and reverse. Hit that Uno reverse card
If it's all a lie,
and
absolutely
draw 4.
correct.
Boom.
I hope it's not true.
All right. So, Guiv, what's next on our list?
All right, moving on. So, moving on to a lighter, more fun subject. At least for me. This is more fun for me. Probably not for Wayne.
Oh,
It's not because Guiv
know what
is,
you're
is
talking about.
So,
a hater. to the
Wayne
highest degree,
and
to the
I
nth degree.
We're talking on the group chat this week. We have an entertainment exchange group chat, and we were talking about the Steelers. And I don't know how we broached the subject. We were going back and forth a lot, but we got to a point where I said,
Hold on. Can I say something real quick before you
"Yeah,
finish?
go ahead."
I just wanted to be known that if there's any Steelers slander in our group chats, I am never the one who brings anything up. It's always like Guiv, David, Dylan,
Because it's
anybody,
so
because
fun.
they always bring, and I'm just sitting there chilling, just being me, and they'll start talking left about Big Ben. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna just talk about my quarterback like that. Even
We
though I don't
got to
think,
bring in Matt to
even
that
though,
group
like,
chat
I
too. We
don't
got to
think-
bring you in because Matt's.
guys, I would like to let it be known that I'm not on the group chat,
He needs to.
so
be
I'm
have our
just
own
as
group
lost
chat.
in the sauce.
no,
like
but he
you
needs to
guys.
be an entertainment exchange group chat.
all right, we'll
He needs
add
to.
you.
We'll have to add him.
Just no, I'm not adding him
Why?
because you're gonna be this is a bunch of nonsense about to happen.
Yes.
I don't want that.
I'll add
group
you,
chat,
Matt.
the group
Look.
chat's already on mute. Okay, so I see the messages whenever I see them.
Look, personally, I am a zero nonsense type of guy.
That's right. I
All
The
believe
red
that.
hair says
I
different.
shoot. Come on.
Okay, let's reel it back in.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Guy, my
so I said the Steelers were not going to be a playoff team this year, and Wayne went crazy
Because you're disrespectful.
He went off, and he's like, "You want to put some money on it?" So no, because I don't bet money with friends. I don't bet money at all, actually, but definitely not with friends. But I said, let's put some Chick-fil-A on it. Ouch. But then it got me thinking. I was like, man, are the Steelers going to make the playoffs? There's an extra playoff spot now, right? They expanded the playoffs. There's 7 teams now that make it per conference.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't remember
that started just last year. It's brand new. So I was like, man,
creeping in. Yep.
maybe they'll sneak in. So I went and I looked up all the divisions, and I looked up every team, every division, and started looking at which teams could make the playoffs and which couldn't, and could the Steelers maybe sneak into that 7th spot or something.
The disrespect, sneak into that 7th spot. Wow.
And so
the Steelers are pretty trash.
I'm sorry. You know what? See, y'all about to light a fire.
Can Guiv talk, please?
Y'all
Can
about to light
Guiv
a
talk,
fire.
please?
So let's. I thought it'd be fun. Let's go division by division. We can all weigh in on this and see which teams we think are going to be playoff spots. We'll save the AFC North for last, and see which teams we think are going to be playoff teams and which aren't.
The choice is obvious for the AFC North, but we can go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with the East, and we got seven slots total, right? So the AFC West. Let's start with the West. So with the West, with the Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Obviously. Okay. Then the Raiders, probably not. I mean, the Raiders were close.
Are the Chiefs? Are they at the point where they have to like pay all their people and they're losing people?
Because Mahomes, no. In fact,
that team is coming back.
They just signed a couple of
I didn't know if they were able to sign everybody.
Because Mahomes took a pay cut to give the team a chance to. So no. So Chiefs playoff team. Raiders. The Raiders were a pretty good team last year, but let's put a maybe on that one. I don't think the Raiders.
Because they did show glimpses of being like extreme. Like when they beat the Chiefs, right?
They were the only team to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, with Mahomes.
They put up points on them.
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar was going off.
Yeah.
And to look at David and be like,
Aguilar's not there anymore.
Why couldn't he do that for you? Oh, he's going to the Patriots.
He's going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aguilar went to the Patriots. They're just Thanos.
They're just signing everyone. Yeah. But but let's say Raiders no, because I
think the Chiefs have it unlocked.
The Chiefs are making okay. The Broncos no. Okay, and the Chargers. I'm gonna say the Chargers are a playoff team.
Could,
yeah,
because Justin Herbert is a baller.
Correct.
And they just signed someone.
They got their new head coach.
They lost Hunter Henry.
Yes,
but
that's a big
they
loss.
did just sign somebody, right?
I don't know.
I forgot who it was.
I don't know. I'm not.
I mean, I think the Chargers are decent.
Too. Like they're gonna be fine.
They're good. They're really
Derwin
good.
James,
And they just signed Brandon Staley, who's their new head coach.
Derwin James could play defense by himself if he wanted to.
That
means a killer.
Are they going to be like
playoffs?
I think the Raiders. They have a higher chance than the Raiders.
Right. So let's say two teams for that division. Let's say Chiefs. Chargers. Okay. Right. AFC East. Jets? No.
Heck no.
Okay. Bills? Yes.
Oh, for sure. Bills.
Absolutely.
I'm 100% on the Bills.
Okay. Patriots?
Yeah.
That's the wild card right there.
I don't think it's that much of a wild card.
I think that they'll make it, but I do not think that they'll
But if the Bills are for sure in, now the Patriots are kind of like, will they make it?
They'll make the wild card.
Yeah, but there's still other teams that can get in there.
I think the Patriots will make it.
Here's
We're
the
only
thing.
on our second division. No, chill out.
The Patriots last year.
I don't think
with
anybody else.
Nothing on either side of the ball. They had no players, opt-outs. Cam was throwing to the kindergartners. Kindergartners. And I think they had like the 3rd hardest schedule of any team in the NFL last year. The 2nd hardest schedule, something like that. I mean, it was something like that. We can look it up. They had a very tough schedule, and they still won 7 games. How that team won 7 games, I will never know. That's insane because they had nothing. Now this next year, they didn't win the division, so their schedule is going to be a lot easier. They have a ton of players. All their opt-outs come back, and they have the draft in which they can also bring in players.
Mm-hmm.
That Patriots team's going to the playoffs. They're winning 11 games. I mean,
over the Bills?
No,
I probably wouldn't say over the Bills.
You're saying there's 2 teams from this division is going to make it too?
Yes,
I would definitely take them over the Raiders and the Chargers.
The Patriots? Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so that's 2 so far, but then we got Miami too.
Miami, I think they could be real good.
They were right on the line last year. They were 10-6 last year.
Yeah, but that was also a combination of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's
and
true.
Tua.
That's
and
true.
They just sent Ryan Fitzpatrick to Washington. So it's just Tua.
I like Ryan.
So now, how much do you trust Tua to get you at least 10 games?
I think that's the biggest wild card. I'm going to say no for Miami.
I think the AFC East is going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. I think that even the Jets, I don't think the Jets are going to make the playoffs, but I think the Jets are going to be a fun team. Who knows what they're going to do at quarterback.
They might double their wins and win 4. Wow.
Okay, so that's 2 for the East. Now we go to the South.
Okay.
Titans.
I don't think that I don't know if they're going to be as good as they were
Someone
last
has to
year.
win this division. If there's anybody in this division that's going to win it, it's going to be the Titans or the Colts.
Correct. That's what the 2 teams that I've got. Titans and Colts making it to the playoffs.
I would say Titans.
Titans win the division, but you don't think the Colts are a playoff team?
I think
I don't
they're.
know.
I think they're on the edge.
I mean,
I think
look,
they're like with
They
the
won.
Raiders.
They won 11 games last year with Phillip Rivers. Now they have Carson Wentz.
Stop, because you don't like Carson Wentz.
I don't like Carson Wentz,
I-
but
I
I think
do-
Carson
so
Wentz is better
so
than
don't-
Phillip Rivers.
So don't
Phillip
praise
Rivers
him.
was
So
an
don't praise him now.
Phillip
Look,
Rivers
Don't do
like
that.
40
no,
years
no,
old.
No, be real.
I like.
You don't like him.
being
I
real.
like Carson Wentz, and I think
I
that
like
he's
him.
really good.
He's a good quarterback.
But I don't know how he's gonna mesh with the Colts.
He's already they're already meshing great right now.
The Colts have with the best offensive line in the league. They have a great
Facts.
running game. They have
Facts.
good weapons. They have a very
Facts.
good. I mean, the Colts are a very complete. They're not flashy. They don't have a lot of star power, but they're a very, very complete team. Like they're
Facts.
solid. They're very well coached. They're tough.
I'll believe it when I see it.
They don't make a lot of mistakes. I'd say the Colts are a playoff team.
So with this, if you're saying the Colts make it and the Titans make it, that's
Yes.
6 teams.
That's
without so
6
far.
teams
That means
already.
only one team from the AFC North is going to make it.
Well, are we on board with that, or are you saying Colts no? Do we say Colts no?
I'd say Colts are maybe. I'd throw them in with the Raiders. Like
So
I gotta see like first couple games.
So
before-
we'll say no for the Colts. We'll keep it to the Titans.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Colts.
From the South.
because as disrespectful as what I'm about to say is, it might happen.
What?
We're going to the AFC North, right?
Yeah.
Steelers are making it for sure. The
Are you
Browns
sure?
are gonna make it too.
Are you sure about
The
that?
Browns are making it.
I think the Browns are making it too.
They're not gonna be the top seed, but they're gonna be in there.
I think the Browns are going to make it, and I think they just might be the top seed.
I think that the Browns are gonna
Hey,
beat
I know
out
you
the
guys
Steelers.
can't. I know you guys can't see the way I just looked at Guiv, but I gave him the most disrespectful side eye that I've ever given anyone in my entire life.
Bro, the Browns are a really good team.
Because I almost threw like 10 cuss words at you
Look
for
at
no
the Browns.
reason.
Look at their roster. They're a very solid,
And they-
well-built team.
They
Listen,
played really well
that's
last year
cool.
too.
They did.
That is cool. That's fine. But when you look at where they've been and where they're coming from, who is their quarterback? As much as I love him, Baker Mayfield is their
Baker.
quarterback.
His commercials
You
are
get
great.
in his face.
Yes.
Playing against Baker Mayfield is not as hard as people make it seem. Okay, I love Baker Mayfield. Okay, coming out of OU, I love him. I love his attitude, his cockiness. I was like, bro, this dude, he's bringing that like Conor McGregor
He's the real
swagger
deal.
to the NFL, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. He went to the Browns. I was like, cool, y'all finna be trash anyway, but I'm going to watch Baker Mayfield ball out.
Sure.
And then he was not that good.
Well,
Now
he had
he's
Freddie
kind of-
Kitchens and
It don't matter.
Hugh
He
Jackson.
could have a dishwasher at head coach, and he's still gonna be bad. He could have.
He was good last year.
That's what I'm getting to. Hold
Okay.
on. He had Freddie Kitchens. Cool. Dumpster fire of a team.
Yes.
Moving on. They have who's over there now?
Kevin Stefanski.
A dishwasher, remember?
A dishwasher. Yes.
He's
Kidding.
no.
He's
no.
not a dishwasher.
He said that there's a dishwasher.
I said if there was a dishwasher. If.
So disrespectful.
This is why you don't come on the pod anymore, Matt. This is exactly why. This is the
Can
reason.
you finish your sentence? My
And
God,
mute.
you're on like
the
5
mute
minutes
button. I
now.
gotta get used to the mute button, man. I gotta get used to that because you could be talking and no one can hear you. That's crazy. Anyway, so he's doing pretty well. Okay,
Yes.
he's doing fine.
Yes.
But if there's one thing that I notice is there's a team that always gives him, or there's 2 teams that give him a run for his money, and he has to see these 2 teams twice a year. It's the Ravens and the Steelers. Okay.
Didn't they split games with the Steelers last year?
Yes, and they split games with us because we didn't start our starters in the last game. It was week 17, and we already locked up the number 1 seed or the number 1 spot. So we're like,
But that game doesn't count. But I'm talking about the playoff
and
game.
and then they didn't even win by that much when they played against our backups.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that game. I'm talking about the playoff game.
Oh, the playoff game. We won't talk about that game. That game was deleted.
We don't talk about
That
that
game was deleted
game
from history.
Yeah, let's not
That's
talk about
even
that
more
game. 'Cause
important
that doesn't
game.
help my point. So let's not talk about
that
that.
game was deleted from history.
What the heck?
We're not talking about. We're talking about. First off, if you want to talk about that game, because
Yeah.
you want to bring it up, you like to bring stuff up, okay?
Well, we're talking about the
We-
Steelers and the Browns. How am I not going to bring it up?
We were defeated from snap 1, okay? At that point, Baker Mayfield just has to go out there and be a game manager.
But whose fault is that?
That's Hayward's fault.
That's
not
just-
Hayward.
He's part of the Steelers.
So what you
What's
said
his
is the Steelers' fault.
It's the Steelers.
Pouncey, my bad. Pouncey's
Pouncey.
fault.
Well, Pouncey's gone now. He retired.
Yes, he retired. Him and his
retired.
brother.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should have, but like when you snap the ball over a 7-foot, 1,000 Big Ben, like how does that happen, bro? Like, and it goes into the end zone and they score a touchdown in the first 10 seconds of the game.
That's
where-
the Steelers.
and morale is done.
But that's part of the team too. Like,
And the defense did not step up. They could have stopped them, and they did in the second half, but it's too late by then. We were already down 3 touchdowns going into the second half.
Right.
So like, what the heck is going
and
on?
and you lost Bud Dupree too this offseason to free agency.
That's fine. We got
And the Titans got Bud Dupree.
Alex
Damn,
Highsmith.
the
I'm just
Titans
hearing-
are going to be good.
we
I'm
got
just
Highsmith.
hearing
He'll
that
step
the
up. He stepped
Steelers
up
just
fine when
aren't
Bud
good
Dupree was out
enough.
with a torn ACL, so we're good.
Okay.
Like Robert Spillane coming back too. Devin Bush is off a torn ACL. He's arguably the fastest middle linebacker in the game right now. Can cover just about everything. On
He
the
had an
field.
ACL last
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see how he looks after that.
Even if he slows down, he's still gonna be one of the greatest middle linebackers the Steelers ever got. So we're good.
I think your problem is not your defense. Your problem is Big Ben.
Here we go. Y'all can't even keep a quarterback, so I don't know why you talking. So
We just signed Tyrod Taylor.
who is
That's how
who's
pronounce his
coming
name.
off a punctured lung?
Well, yeah, but he's fine now.
He comes off a This man was swallowing his own fluids.
You know how he punctured his lung? Did you hear about that?
it was the trainer.
The trainer for the Bills, was it no, not the Bills, the Chargers, like gave him a shot and punctured his lung with the needle.
Yeah,
And that's why they had to start Justin Herbert.
for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
'cause-
And it worked out because
That
Justin
is
Herbert played great, but
sabotage.
that's insane. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the Steelers.
Yes.
Porto Rod.
The Steelers
Portugal.
are winning the division. It might be close, yes, but it's going to be
And so you're discounting the Ravens. The Ravens are going to do anything.
no.
So the Ravens are not going to.
The Ravens are not getting better, and they're not going to.
I think that the
worse.
Ravens are going to get better.
There's still players that they could sign out there. What do the Ravens need? Wide receivers. That's it.
They also need someone who can get the ball to them.
So you're saying Lamar? I don't know, man. Lamar might make that jump. He might be able to get better at throwing. He might. He hasn't been very good so far, but
Okay, when I see it, I'll believe it. But until then, all they're doing is running RPOs.
well, they've made the playoffs the past 2 years,
That's cool.
The RPOs are working.
so it's
But
working.
they're not. They're the time when they made the playoffs and they were like the dominant team. We're like, oh,
2 years
Lamar
ago,
Jackson
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And that team went. What was the record?
I don't like they
They
won
only
maybe
lost, like,
12,
they-
13 games. or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
they were, like,
they were very
ridiculous.
good. Yeah.
And then they ran into who?
Who did they lose in the
I think
playoffs?
it was the Titans.
No, sorry.
It was the Titans. Yes,
With
correct.
Ryan Tannehill when
Yes.
he came in there and he was like,
And Derrick Henry.
on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah, run the ball down your throat.
Yep.
And then next season they
Last
did not
season.
do as good.
Not as well, no.
And if you notice,
But they
some
made
of
it
those
farther in the
games,
playoffs.
They still did it
you-
really well.
if you notice some of those games when teams really keyed in on the fact that Lamar Jackson cannot throw the ball, he looked like a child out there. So I'm like,
A
it's
child that
year
can run.
one.
Good
Year
run. He
one.
can run.
Year one, it was like, oh, he's taking the league by storm. He can run the ball, looking like Mike Vick out there, whatever.
People got
Year
film
two,
on him.
More teams are keying in on that. Year three, it's chicken wraps.
Okay.
Unless he makes strides to get better and get that arm better, and they get some people out there who are like go getters at receiver, like
Des Bryant. And
they
they
could have got
actually
an
used him.
AJ Green, but he went to the Cardinals.
But he's too injury prone. I'm thinking Odell.
You think they're gonna pry Odell from the Browns?
The
when
Browns
he's having fun.
no, the Browns are shipping Odell.
Yeah,
They're
I
tra-
thought Odell wanted out.
well, I don't know if
I
he,
don't think he wanted out.
but I think they're shopping Odell.
I heard that they were
They
sending
can
him out.
shop Odell all they want to.
He should go to the Packers, honestly.
If he goes to the Ravens, then I say they have a chance.
Okay.
But if
Alright,
he
cool.
goes somewhere else, the Ravens
They should have
rookie
used
in it, and
Des
they're-
Bryant.
They're not getting better. They're only going to get worse. The trend is going down. We've seen it.
I think we'll wait and see what happens. I think the Ravens are gonna be good next year, but I see what you're saying that you're not off.
You're only saying that because you don't like Big Ben.
I don't not like Big Ben.
The only reason you bring this stuff up because you don't like Big Ben.
I think Big Ben, his time is done and he needs to retire. That's what. That's
but
all.
The thing is,
That's
we've
not like
been-
I don't
we
like
can
him.
we can tell Big Ben that
It's
he's
not
not gonna
personal.
believe us.
I like Big Ben, but the Steelers need to restart.
Yeah.
You know how long I've been saying that, Matt?
Yeah, I know you've been saying that a while.
For 3 years. I counted
Has
it.
it
3
happened?
Years.
No. Are the
3
Steelers making the playoffs?
years.
No.
You don't think the Steelers are making the playoffs? Let's talk
No.
about your Cowboys. Then. Are they making the playoffs, Matt?
Yes.
I-
Heck
well,
no.
I think they're making the playoffs because who else is in that division?
I wouldn't be
They're gonna
surprised.
make it
I
their
wouldn't be
default.
surprised if y'all get bumped
Okay.
out by the Eagles.
Look,
Oh, stop it.
this is what
To the
if
E-
if
at least
Dak-
Washington maybe.
Look,
To
if
the
Dak
Eagles?
if
Sorry,
Dak
David,
gets
but-
another season-ending injury, and we're stuck with Pucci's third-string backups,
Ben DiNucci.
then yes, we are not going to make the playoffs. But if he is starting, we're making the playoffs easily.
I don't know, man. Dak started last year the first like 4 or 5 games, and you guys were like 1-5 or something.
Look, again, most of y'all know this. I'm not the biggest Dak fan, but he has been improving.
You should be.
And he's getting a
He's
little
been
better.
improving.
That's good.
He's not great.
So he's better than anything y'all have had in like I don't know how long.
No, I think Romo.
Tony
Stop.
Romo was-
no.
Tony
don't even,
Romo
don't
was
even,
better.
Don't even.
Wayne,
Look,
I don't know, man.
If you want to save this as a conversation for another day, I will be happy.
That would be a great
I
conversation.
would be
We
to have.
can
happy.
do a whole podcast.
I
on
would be
why I don't
happy
think Tony Romo
to
was that good.
explain Tony
Really?
Romo.
Really. Seriously, straight up.
Oh, you just hit a nerve with Matt, dude.
Just
Now
like
he's
you
giving
hit
you that look.
Exactly. Just like you hit nerves with me all the time.
Which
Shut up.
one is your mute button? Because
wanna reach
I'm about to hit
You
it.
want to reach over here and hit it?
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna fight over here, dog.
all right.
Yeah.
You guys are.
Don't touch my mixer. I just got it.
At least my knee works.
Hey, that's fine. I still drop you off.
All right. So
I'll drop you over the bum knee, Matt. How I do that?
And
All our
on that note,
on the to close,
Moving.
Big Ben sucks. Steelers suck, and they're not making it to the playoffs in the next 5 years.
We have more Super Bowls than both y'all's team combined. So let's go ahead
we've
and
never
drop
even
that.
been to an AFC Championship game.
That's tough.
So
moving on.
Yes, moving on. Okay. Next subject, the Patriots. So we talked about it a little bit in the past segment, but let's get into it a little bit more. The Patriots, I think in the first 2 days of free agency, spent $150 million
It's a lot of dollars.
in free agency. I think there was a stat that came out that in the past 10 years before that, they spent like 180 or something. So they almost spent the exact same thing they spent in the past 10 years in 1 year on free agency players. I'm going to go out on a limb here. This might surprise you out a little bit, but I'm really going to say this, and I really, really mean this. It's not a hot take. I really believe this because I believe in Belichick, I believe in that culture, and I believe in Cam. Patriots are going to the Super Bowl, man.
Oh my gosh, no!
The Patriots are going to the Super Bowl.
No.
I'm telling you. We've already
they're
seen
not.
the Chiefs are not unbeatable. They can be stopped, okay? Pass rushing is a big part of that. And where does pass rushing fall into a part of? The defense. What's Bill Belichick's bread and butter? The defense.
Bread and butter is Tom Brady.
I know. They won 7 games last year. They weren't very good, but look at all the players they're getting back.
Yeah, they're getting players, but they're not going to the Super Bowl. Sure, they probably will go to the playoffs, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl.
Might.
Okay, I said probably might.
Probably might.
That's like a 70.
It will absolutely.
It's like an 80% chance.
Guiv,
Yes.
I need you to understand something.
We're going to mark this down today, and then next year we'll look back.
Number one, I'm willing to put more Chick-fil-A down on this.
Okay,
That's
but you
how
can't take the
confident.
field. You can't take the Patriots won't. That's not fair. You got to pick a team.
What?
Because if we're going to put some Chick-fil-A out, the bet can't be
For the Super Bowl?
will the Patriots or won't the Patriots.
No, how much faith do you have?
I do, but no,
No,
I'm not giving you the
exactly.
field. What
Exactly.
the heck?
No. How much faith do you have?
Okay, give me.
You coming out here with hot takes? Be a hot take. Come on now.
Then give me 20-1, and I'll how many teams are in the AFC? 16. I'll give me 16-1, and I'll give you the bet.
if the
16-1?
Patriots-
Yeah.
No.
You have 16
I'm
teams.
taking
Oh,
the-
15
I'm
to 1.
taking the flip side. They're not making the
No,
Super Bowl.
Okay.
no.
Look,
We are not.
That's the argument. You just said the
Yeah,
Patriots
they-
winning the Super Bowl. So
well,
my
let's- well,
argument
let's-
is that they're not.
That's fine, but let's make the wager fair as
Yeah.
far as
That's what I'm saying.
the amount of
If-
teams that you
if
get.
they
'Cause you
do
get
not
15
make the
teams.
Super Bowl, you get some Chick-fil-A for Wayne. If they do, Wayne, 20 Chick-fil-A's.
15 because he
15
gets 15
Chick-fil-A's.
teams.
Heck no.
Why not?
Heck no.
Where do you not believe
Are
enough?
you not believing?
Are you not confident
number
enough?
one, y'all be thinking my bank account is like filth right now. Y'all be thinking I just got it made. I can
Well,
just buy
you do have a
Chick-fil-A for
really
everybody.
nice mixer.
We can. It doesn't have to be 15 Chick-fil-A's in one day. You can spread them out on the course of like
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
month,
give you a punch
A
card. You
week?
can just punch the card and like
a week. You can just sell me.
heck no.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, wait, I want more. I want my 8th Chick-fil-A today, and you'd be like, okay,
As
here.
if anything, you should just take mine because I just want one and one.
No, that's not. That's
It's
not
just
a fair
one
bet.
meal.
No,
It's just one meal.
no.
Guiv, how much money do you have
Not enough for
one meal? Guiv, so you're banking on this one, aren't you? You're banking on this one. You're like, hey, come February 2022, I'm getting that Chick-fil-A.
You cannot.
You are
take
throwing
15
all the
teams
cards
and make this
in.
a 1-to-1
Okay,
wager.
well, what if-
Absolutely not.
what
That's
if-
not fair.
What if you said that you think that they're making the Super Bowl and somebody said that they're not making the playoffs? Because I think that would be an
Oh,
even
okay. You
even
want to do
stance.
that? And we can make it a
You
1-to-1.
know what? I'll do that.
right.
I'll do that.
Let's see the handshake. Handshake.
Matt,
Come on,
it's
come
a
on.
Okay,
COVID
let me
handshake.
describe it. They both did not shake their hands.
Matt, you genius.
Well,
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for, to
I'm
instigate
getting on my
problems and
Chick-fil-A.
arguments.
They gotten so lucky against me in the past with wagers. With that Portland against LA in the playoffs and the Colts
Look.
beating the Texans 2 times last season, which was so much bull.
But didn't I tell you what's going to happen both times? Didn't
my
I tell
God,
you?
Bro, do you remember those games?
You
They
haven't
got
won a bet
so
against me, Guiv.
lucky.
Really?
I think Guiv's like
Look,
0 for 3
I'm
against
0
me.
for 2.
0 for
I
2?
love these
Well,
wagers.
it's about to be 0 for 3 because the Spurs are going to have a better record than the Rockets.
Exactly. That's 0 for 3.
We bet at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
before any of the trade drama,
I remember that.
that the Rockets are going to have a better season, and then like
Yeah.
start the season. Russell Westbrook gets traded.
Yep.
James Harden gets traded. All our players are hurt. We have like a G League team now.
Yeah, and we've
And
lost
like
what is
18
it?
in
Is
a
it
row
18
or
now?
some-
And the
Crap
Spurs
like
are
that.
where in they're 7th?
they fourth?
They're 7th.
Oh, they're 7th?
Yeah.
Oh, they dropped a little bit. I
We
thought they were
think-
4th.
When were we 4th?
You were 4th for a while. For a little bit. I remember watching the
That must have been at the very beginning when people were getting COVID.
I don't know.
Because then we
Okay,
got COVID.
So you're
and we
7th.
dropped.
You're 7th? Okay. So you're, well, I mean, it doesn't matter, really.
Yeah,
You
we
could be-
could
you could
we
be
could be
10th.
10th and y'all could be 11th, and I'm still getting Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and if we're 10th, we're getting in the play-in tournament.
That's true.
So
true.
shout out to Adam Silver for keeping that one.
That's right.
That was dope.
That's right. All right.
What
We're
we talking
done.
about again?
We're talking about the Patriots. I'm thinking they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Well,
So
okay, why don't you
you're like
explain
Mets
all
Kelvin
of the
right now.
additions that they just made?
Okay. Then let's do this right, because I know like the big splash ones, but let's look
Right.
it up. Let me look it up really
We
quick.
kind of skimmed over it just a little bit.
We did.
For example, they got Cam. We kind of mentioned that already.
They
but
re-signed Cam for another year. Yes, they did. That's true. And I know we mentioned the hot pickups that they had. John
actually,
Smith
this was a question I did have. So I remember the Patriots were known as either getting most of all their players either through the draft or through free agency. I don't remember which one was it.
So the Patriots on traditionally, right?
Yeah, traditionally.
They would mostly get their players from the draft, and then
Right.
once their players from the draft got to a point where they were going to get the big money, they would most often trade them unless it was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Brady or
And
something.
get like some good draft picks.
yes,
And then go
they-
again.
correct.
So this is pretty like different from what they're usually doing.
This is completely different.
right.
But on the flip side too, and to be fair, the
Which I
Patriots
think is a
had
good move.
absolutely,
Yep.
and they had a ton of cap space because they signed no one last year,
Mhm.
and all their players opted out, so they didn't pay anybody. So they had a ton of money this year
Yeah.
to spend, and they did. Okay, so I've
Good for
got the
them.
list right here. Let's go through it. They signed Hunter Henry, tight end Hunter Henry, to a 3-year. That's a long contract. 3-year, $37 million. Tight end Jonnu Smith, 4-year, $50 million. Wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, 3-year, $22 million. Wide receiver Nelson Aguilar. Outside linebacker Matthew Judon, that was a big one, 4-year, $56 million. Defensive end Dietrich Wise, 4-year, $30 million. Defensive tackle Devon Godshaw, 2 years, $16 million. Henry Anderson, who's a defensive end, defensive tackle, 2 years. Safety Jalen Mills, that was a good one, 4 years, $24 million. And defensive back Justin Bethel, he re-signed for 3 years, $6
That's a
million.
lot of defense.
So it's
That's-
9 players in the re-sign.
Yes. Well, not all of them re-signed. Most of these were signed off of other teams. But-
Yeah. So that's 9 new players
Right.
and 1 re-sign, and then there's other re-signs too, right?
Correct. Plus the guys are coming back that opted out last season. So like Dante Hightower's back. A lot of those guys are back. And then you've got the draft.
so they are going to have a good defense.
They are going to have a good team, bro. I mean,
Specifically, a really good defense.
yes. Well, yeah. I mean,
Pick their
is-
defense on fantasy.
Their defense is going to be insane. I mean, these dudes are. Cam's got 2 really good tight ends to work. Remember that old 2 tight end set that they used to have with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez?
Mm.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Stand by for greatness.
Oh gosh, Guiv.
I never thought I'd root for the Patriots, but since Cam became their QB, it's like Texans are going to stink anyway.
I
as
still
well.
So you're
will
not cheering for
not
the Texans, so
Right.
root for the Patriots.
But Cam though,
I'll root for Cam
No.
Newton.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
All right, so
That's it.
Cammy Bammy.
so you're saying Patriots won't be a playoff team next year?
No.
Okay, and Matt, what do you got?
I think they'll make the
think they'll make
playoffs
the
and they'll
playoffs?
lose.
All right, moving to the NFC, the New Orleans Saints have signed 2 quarterbacks. Will have re-signed rather 2 quarterbacks that they had on their team. Taysom Hill,
Well, is he a quarterback?
jury's still
He's a
out.
Swiss Army knife.
He's a Swiss Army knife guy. Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston.
I
Now
love-
the Saints have said it's going to be a quarterback competition going into training camp. Apparently, Sean, which is crazy to me, how that's going to be a quarterback competition when Jameis is clearly better. But you know, Taysom Hill is a Swiss Army guy and can do
Is
some
he?
things that.
James Winston? No,
I'm gonna eat a W.
I don't like James Winston that much.
All he's done is eat L's.
I
Jameis
love
has a lot of potential.
L after L after L.
Jameis?
Yes.
I love Hill. Do I think he's a great quarterback? I mean, I think he could be good. I really haven't watched too much of when he played quarterback. I've seen him play well, and I've seen him not play well.
Right.
So I think if he really felt confident about it and he really showed up, I think he could take the reins. I don't think that Jameis Winston is the answer. Could he be a temporary Band-Aid patch for no Drew Brees Saints? Sure, until they find one.
Who do you think would give him a better chance to win, Taysom Hill or Jason?
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
You think Taysom Hill will give him a better chance? Now I don't like Jameis Winston that much as a quarterback. As a person, I'm pretty sure he's great.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's a cool dude.
Eats
Whatever. Eats
finger
W's
W's.
when he wants to, and he's not throwing 30 interceptions and 30 touchdowns in the same season. But I digress. But Taysom Hill, you think has a better chance? He is Lamar Jackson light. All he does is run. When
he's
he snaps the
he's
ball,
a poor man's Lamar
he's-
Jackson.
Yeah, he's not throwing the ball. You already know. Send 11 guys. He's not throwing. if they do send 11 guys and you have one fake blitz and drop back because there's one receiver that he could throw it to, it's gonna be underthrown by like 50 yards. That's a pick and a touchdown.
He went. Now people say he went 3-1 last year when he started those 4 games. But who'd they play?
What did he do?
Who'd they play?
What did he do?
He threw a couple touchdowns and ran a couple touchdowns
In 4 games. That's Let's look at that one.
The 3 wins. 2 of those wins were against Atlanta or something, like a terrible team, and then one of the wins was against Denver when they had no quarterback.
Exactly. They had no QB.
Look,
They had a wide receiver.
playing quarterback.
is a win.
So,
like-
but you're looking at Taysom Hill and you're saying he gives you a better chance to win and contend
Yes.
than Jameis Winston.
Yes.
No, I can't believe that.
Because at least Jameis Winston can give you 30 touchdowns.
And
in a
5,000
season.
yards. He
And
threw
5,000
You know,
yards.
only 12 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have ever thrown for 5,000 yards, and Jameis Winston's one of them.
Taysom Hill will give you
Did you know
5 Lunchables
that there's only
as
one
he sits on the bench. And he'll keep the team, you know, he'll give water to the team.
look
And then go in and play tight end
maybe
and block.
if
for
they didn't
Jameis
use
Winston.
Tyson Hill for every other position known to man,
He would learn the quarterback.
he would
position.
learn the quarterback position.
But look
and
at
be a
look
god.
at who they had at quarterback. Drew Brees.
Yeah.
A
Anymore.
god.
Yeah, there's
What are
nothing
you gonna do?
happening there.
What is he gonna do? Outplay Drew Brees?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, a quick update. The Saints just got hit with a COVID-19 penalty. New Orleans will forfeit a 6th-round pick in 22 draft and fine 700,000 K. 700K. Yeah, 700K.
700 or 700K.
700K
Dang.
for a COVID-19 violation. So
What
The
did they,
Titans should get that too.
he's still salty because
What did they do?
Heck yeah, we didn't
I
get a
don't know.
bye
I
week. We had to
can't-
play 17 weeks straight.
Did one person not wear a mask?
They violated the
I don't
the
get it.
COVID
Okay.
somehow. All right, moving
Anywho.
on.
Goodness.
Matt, go ahead.
Go Taysom Hill.
Go to well, see, I believe in Jameis. In fact, I think the Saints are gonna be really good with Jameis.
Because we have sense. We have sense and you have nonsense. That's why.
Look, I would put Chick-fil-A on it.
We can't put Chick-fil-A on it because only one quarterback can play at a time.
Well, that's right. Who do you think is gonna win the starting job?
Taysom Hill.
James Winston, what the heck?
I think
oh my
Taysom Hill.
gosh.
I think we got a Chick-fil-A wager.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh my gosh.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
You
That's between y'all two.
Look,
Don't
look,
get me
I'm
involved
no,
in
no,
this.
it's between us.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, I am undefeated when it comes to Chick-fil-A wagers. You're about to owe me Chick-fil-A.
He's gotten so lucky. He and David
I
have
am
gone
well fed
so
because I bet.
Dude,
on
Matt,
Chick-fil-A.
the first bet I ever made with David was a Firehouse bet, and it was when Portland played LA in the first round of the bubble last year.
Yeah.
And they were telling me, oh, Portland's going to push it to 6. Dylan Pendergast even said Portland was going to win the series,
But that's Dylan.
and they were like, oh, it's going to be a
much.
tough 6. Y'all need to put respect on Dame's name. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
And what happened?
The Lakers are going to whip Portland in 4. Bro, game 1. KCP went like 0 for 12. They were getting open shots everywhere.
Yeah.
No one was hitting them.
Yeah.
Dame didn't even play that well, and they just lost game 1 out of just some lucky aberration game, and then they waxed them 4 games straight after that, which should have happened from the beginning.
Right.
And I ended up having to pay David a Firehouse sub sandwich because they got lucky.
I told it was.
This
gonna be a
is the
gentleman's
story
sweep.
of me wagering with these guys.
Right.
He is defeated. I am undefeated. So that's what you're stepping into with this bet.
Moving
Look,
on.
you know that.
Moving on.
Am I the most confident ever with this bet? No.
But,
But
you're gonna
I
own
need to
Chick-fil-A.
start somewhere.
You believe in Taysom Hill.
You gotta-
I like Taysom Hill. Do I think that he's the greatest? No. But I think he's better than Jameis Winston.
All right.
That's disrespectful.
Is
Jameis.
it?
And I've been pretty.
That's
disrespectful.
respectful to
I've
Taysom
been-
Hill.
He has been really disrespectful.
I've been pretty
Jameis.
disrespectful to Jameis.
He says
to
he'd
Jameis
take
Winston.
Big Ben over Jameis Winston right now.
Yes, I would.
That's crazy to me. I wouldn't.
I would.
Take a quarterback who knows the system already over someone who's.
I
gonna
would
come in and
take
throw
current-
30 interceptions.
I would
That's
take
it.
current Tony Romo over Jameis
You would take Booth, Tony Romo.
Yeah.
That was the same Tony Romo you had in uniform, and he still wasn't that good.
He was. Okay.
Well,
Look,
Dak beat him out. Okay. And then
no,
speaking
he
of Dak,
didn't beat
this-
him out.
This is a perfect segue. Perfect segue.
Oh.
Matt, you can take the reins on this one. So
Okay.
the Cowboys the Dallas Cowboys after 2
Dallas Cowboys.
years of struggling to sign Dak and negotiating and finally have signed Dak to a 4-year, $40 million a year deal. So it's like $160 million total or something like that.
An ungodly amount.
It was a lot. But the CBA is going to, the cap is going to hit 2 years from now, $40 million a year is going to be nothing.
That's so much money, though.
So take it away, Matt. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you talk to this one. This is your team. Matt is a Cowboys fan.
So
Unfortunately,
let me just establish myself as a Cowboys fan. I've
Yes.
always been a Cowboys fan.
Yes.
I have a picture of me, like less than 5 years old, wearing Cowboys gear. So I have proof.
This is a lifetime.
That has been before the Texans. So I just want to establish
That's cool.
Now, am I a Dak fan? I am not. Do I like Dak? Yes. He's a great guy. I don't think that he's the greatest quarterback. I think that he has gotten a lot better because his first season he did amazing because nobody had film on him. Nobody knew who he was.
And you had an amazing running game.
We had an amazing run game.
Yeah.
We had a really amazing offensive line, and we had a lot of good wide receivers. But he overthrew and underthrew every other pass.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help when you have Amari Cooper who can't finish his routes. So throw that out there.
Hey, Amari Cooper's a great route runner.
He is. He's a great route runner.
We can talk about this some other time.
His routes, but
we can talk about this some other time.
Ain't open. He's
but
stuck.
the reason why Dez Bryant isn't currently playing is because of Dak. But we can talk about that some other time.
Whoa.
We can talk about that some other time.
Dak?
I can explain it to you in full detail at some other time. Anywho,
You
wilding
with the disrespect.
I don't know Cowboys like he does.
Then the second year,
Matt.
they got film on him, and we didn't do very good. We did okay, but we did not do as good.
Didn't y'all go 8-8?
We went 8-8.
Was that the season where it was like everybody in the division was like 8-8 and like?
Okay, look, I do not understand the NFC East.
Oh, that was the Week 17 loss to the Eagles, right? Wasn't that the when Carson Wentz was injured and then?
So look, I don't understand this, but the NFC East, they follow the Cowboys. If the Cowboys are doing really good, the NFC East is like really, really, really good, and all teams are good.
Right.
If the Cowboys are bad, all teams are bad, and it is like competitive with super trash team. It's always really competitive. So I do not understand.
That's true.
Anywho,
it always is.
So the next couple years, Dak got better. He was not overthrowing and underthrowing every pass. He was making a lot more better decisions, better plays. So I like Dak Prescott. So I hope that we can win a Super Bowl with him. But while he was, complaining, wanting more money and whatnot, holding out,
complaining.
Yeah, he was complaining that he wasn't getting paid.
Did you see what they paid Carson Wentz? It's kind of understandable why he was saying.
I thought that was dumb that they paid Carson Wentz that much.
Because
I don't think anybody should be paying quarterbacks all that much.
Because it drove up the price for Dak Prescott to get paid. And
they shouldn't have paid Carson Wentz that early, though.
Anywho,
they were way premature on that.
Anywho,
yeah,
I'm kind of tired of the whole stairway to $100 million a year for a quarterback.
real quick, though. If you look at both quarterbacks, Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, who's better?
If you were to ask me that 2 years ago, Carson Wentz was better.
Who's better?
Now?
Who deserves that money?
Are you talking now or are you talking 2 years ago?
I'm talking about right now. Who deserves
Dak
that money?
is better.
Dak's better.
Okay, so he deserved the money.
If you asked me 2 years ago, Carson Wentz was better.
Because Carson Wentz was playing like MVP level and then he got hurt. So that's understandable.
And Dak was playing MVP level and then got hurt.
But then, if you look at what happened right after that, Carson Wentz was doo-doo, Dak was balling, and then they paid Carson Wentz $108 million.
Dak just got back.
So I'm just saying, Dak Prescott is justified in saying I want more money because look at what they paid him, and he's not even better than me.
Yeah, I thought that was a stupid decision by the Eagles. And
exactly,
it's the Eagles,
so you can't say he was complaining. It was,
but he was.
Look at what they were paying him.
They were willing to give. They were willing to give Dak
a 5-year
money
deal. A 5-year deal.
Than they did just now.
The problem with the negotiation was that Dak wanted a 4-year deal,
and he didn't take also about guaranteed money. Like Le'Veon Bell took less money to play for another team than the Steelers.
It was guaranteed.
More guaranteed money. You can't fully guarantee an entire contract. I mean, you can, but they weren't giving him a full.
Cousins.
They weren't giving him a full guaranteed contract.
The deal that we were going to give him was way more than I wanted to give him, and he didn't take it.
You can look at the final number all you want to. It's about the guaranteed money. That means if I sign this and I get hurt, I'm still getting this amount of money. That's what they're looking at.
Well, it's not getting hurt. It's
money.
Getting cut or getting traded.
Cut and everything. Yeah. Like I'm just saying, like
if you get hurt, but you're still on the team, you're still getting paid.
I'm still getting my money.
Anywho, while this whole thing was happening, there was a lot of quarterbacks that I was really like. For example, Russell Wilson. I was really hoping that they would put Russell Wilson up and that there would be a trade between the Cowboys and the Seahawks.
Because Russell Wilson
was on the list. The Cowboys was on the list of what Russell Wilson said he would teams that he would play for.
Yes,
and it was on like his top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really love Russell Wilson, and I was really hoping that they'd pick him. Then they signed him to a 4-year deal. So I was a little let down. But I'm still hopeful because I like Dak. I'm not a huge Dak fan
yet. But then,
right.
So let me ask you this: what would he have to do this season to turn you from I like Dak to I'm a Dak fan, and I love Dak? So like, if he leads you to the playoffs and you all win like 11 games,
so it's more about just making making the team look good. Like he'd have all these stats and all these stuff.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
and-
stats because he always had really good stats.
Right, but
Yeah. I'm talking about
he never
wins.
made his receivers look really good. He
Receivers didn't make them look good.
no, look.
Go
I'm
back.
telling
I'm
you,
telling you. Go look at how Amari
If
Cooper.
you-
This man does not know how to finish routes. He doesn't know how to like. He's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. He
He's a
can
great
get
route
open.
runner.
I'm not
He can
talking
get
about
open with the best of them. But what I'm talking about is like when you're done with that route and you don't know what the heck to do, so you just stand there and don't finish your route.
Yeah,
like,
I
what
think
the
that's
heck?
stupid. But then you also have
So you-
CeeDee
so
Lamb
you-
who's doing the same thing, who's actually finishing his routes. You have Michael Gallup who's actually finishing his routes.
But you
You have
also
so
see
much
that
talent
when
on that offense.
Look,
It's crazy.
all I'm
he
saying-
can put the ball on the money. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. So don't say, you can't sit there
I'm-
and say that it's.
I never said
he's
that.
making his
Did I ever
receivers
said that
look
he was
bad.
not a good
You're
quarterback?
saying you're saying
No.
he's making his receivers look bad.
He does make his receivers look bad
How?
by not throwing it to where the receiver doesn't have to make
You're
a
talking about-
difficult
but-
catch.
He's not making
Underthrown
the
or
receiver look
overthrown,
bad, he's
right?
making himself
Underthrows
look
and
bad.
overthrows. Is that what
He's
you're talking
making
about?
himself look bad.
Look, all I'm saying is half the time, not half the time now. He got better, but a lot of his throws they're not either leading the receiver or they're way too high or way too low, where the receiver has to go away from his route and then either drops the ball, makes it easier for the defender and it gets deflected, or it makes it a
Okay.
whole lot more difficult route.
I understand that, but if you're looking at those kind of passes and you're saying that it's the receiver's fault, then you don't know football. Like me looking at those, I'm like, that's Dak's fault.
Look,
That's Dak's fault. He's not making the receivers
I'm not
look
saying
bad.
that the
Dak is making himself
no
look bad.
Okay, let me explain this to you.
I
I'm not
know what
saying
you're talking about.
that it's all Dak's fault. What I'm saying is that by overthrowing and underthrowing those years that I was talking about, it made it to where it was harder for the receivers because they don't know if exactly he's gonna throw it, which makes their route less predictable, which makes it harder for Dak. And then now there's just things that are going off between them. What I would tell you, what would make me a whole bigger Dak fan, is if they work on the chemistry between the receivers.
Mhm.
He focuses on his passing more, which he has been doing.
Mhm.
Like the past couple years, he's been working on his pass a whole lot more, and I've seen it, and it's been improving. And basically that's it. Just work on his passing more.
So they could go 0-16, but as long as Dak Prescott is putting the ball on the money, you'd be okay.
I would, because then I
Well,
would see a future for the Cowboys. If he can't fix his passing, I do not see a future with Dak in the Cowboys.
Okay, so you're more about just Dak's specific play on the field versus the team's success.
Well, if we're just
As
talking
far
about
as
Dak,
This
being a
season,
Dak
if we're
this
talking about
season.
team, defense, and offensive line, that's what we need to fix.
No, yeah, your defense was. It was crazy how bad they were because they actually have really good players. I don't know why they were so bad.
I was hurt.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. God knows I hate
Right,
the
well,
Cowboys. but
good or bad sign. I think it was a good sign.
yeah,
glad they
I mean,
finally
what
got
else
a
is
deal
out there?
out.
Who else
Right.
you getting? Right. No, yeah,
Russell
for sure.
Wilson.
Okay. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Matt, this one's for you too. CFL and XFL.
Okay, so I was looking up a little bit of it, and the Canadian Football League and the XFL, they haven't made a deal yet.
Okay.
So it hasn't happened yet, but they're talking to each other about maybe making a deal to where they kind of combine and they play against each other. But nothing has come out yet, and they've all been private talks, and nothing's really been released. And so there's not a whole lot of information out there as if they're going to do it, how it's going to look like, or even if it's going to be successful, because we don't know if it's two organizations coming together to be better, or two sinking organizations trying to come in and just survive. Because both of them kind of blew out with the pandemic. The XFL was looking really, really good.
They were looking good.
But then the pandemic happened and they just couldn't stay afloat. Kind of the same thing with the CFL. Personally, I think that this is a win-win situation for everybody. I think that it's a great decision that's really going to help football as a whole, because right now, USA, they just have the NFL, and that's pretty much it. Like, nothing's it's
College
the NFL,
football.
nothing, right? And I think
NCAA.
if you add in the XFL and the CFL, like kind of what you were saying, you can add a whole year-round football thing, which I think would be really cool. But I think it also just would help expand football as a whole. Because right now, sort of like how baseball is, you got the MLB and nothing else. You don't have really baseball anywhere else.
Well, minor leagues
I mean, I'm talking about
outside of the U.S.
outside the U.S. Right. And in the NBA, however, you've got basketball all over.
They got baseball in Japan.
Right, but
in South America.
I mean, what I'm saying is like really you got MLB and that's kind of it.
Talking about it's like as far as people caring.
They're
Right.
not as high profile.
So
As far as
I
us,
think
'cause I'm pretty sure in those other countries, like they're like, oh,
yeah, right.
we got our,
Exactly.
our teams, and we out
Yeah.
here. Just,
yeah, there's only like
repping.
5 other countries that have baseball, that have legitimate baseball.
Baseball's not a good sport.
But I think
I like
by
baseball.
having the XFL and the CFL join together,
too.
I think that would help spread football more because it's not the NFL per se. So I think by having the Canadian Football League, then you kind of have the American equivalent to like the Canadian Football League. I think that they might open one up in Mexico, Mexican Football League. I don't know what they call
I
it.
would. That's a good point. I would
but
love
I think
for
that it
football
would be
to
a
become
lot
an
more
international
global.
sport.
And then, like, for example, they've had all the games in London. They've been very interested in it. I think they've started up some football leagues over there. I think that they could add something, and maybe they get a whole deal going around with
what's
that.
weird?
So the NFL's been talking about that, actually having a British football team and a Mexican football team join the National Football League.
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
It's like people across the pond, they're like Jags fans.
Yeah, because the
That's
Jags always
because
play.
Jags are
play,
only the team
which
that
I
go
thought-
over there and
That
play.
was,
No, because the Jags can't sell out their own stadium.
Yeah, so they
Look,
go to London where
they go to
don't have
London where they can
football.
make
that is
money.
one decision that I thought the Jags made a great decision on. They're playing there every single year.
At least once.
At least once, yeah.
And then they're going to have to do some stuff about the Mexico City games because it gets a little interesting over there
not
sometimes.
safe.
Yeah, but yeah, to put it into simpler terms, Matt, you did a good job of explaining.
Yes, you did.
Very good job.
There's not a whole lot of information. I just kind of rambled.
I wanted to mute you, but I was like, no,
It
I'm
was
letting
good,
him go.
Rambo.
I'm gonna let him flow for a little bit, No,
It
I'm
was good
playing.
flow. It was good flow.
But to put it in simple terms, if you love football and you want zero breaks from it, this is a great idea.
Sure.
Because as soon as the NFL ends, you know what's starting up next week? XFL.
Mhm.
Or whatever they decide to call it.
Now, me and Wayne went to a couple XFL games,
Oh, I went to
and
every-
they
I went
were
to every
really,
home game.
really fun. It felt like the minor
Really?
I
league.
went to every home game.
Really?
There was
It
only
felt like the minor
3 of
league
them, 4
baseball
of them, but-
games. If you've ever gone to one of those, there's all the
And they were fun?
games
Yeah?
and stuff. It's really fun,
Bro.
It's a good experience.
When I
Cool.
tell you those games were lit, and it was only like $25 to get in.
Yeah.
$25 per ticket,
That's
as
cheap.
opposed to the $300 you got to pay to go to a Texans game and sit in
Right.
the nosebleed and watch them lose.
Well, especially when you got PJ Walker and
You got
the
PJ
Houston
Walker,
Houston
you got
Rednecks.
my boy from the Steelers, Sammy Coates, was out there looking beastly.
Sammy Coates is still playing?
Yeah,
Oh.
he was out there balling, man. Dude, okay, so if you get a picture of Sammy Coates when he played for the Steelers and get a picture of him when he played for the Roughnecks, dude looks like Mark Ingram when he stood next to was it Derrick Henry or
Oh, yeah,
or,
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah,
Derrick
yeah,
Henry?
No,
yeah.
it wasn't Derrick Henry.
It was somebody else. It was some big.
Oh, was it not Derrick Henry, the other guy from Bama, Trent Richardson?
It was somebody. Somebody just like stocky.
Yoked? Yeah.
Was it Sam Oakman? No, it wasn't Oakman.
I don't
He played for Baylor.
It was just some
But
Greek
anyway,
god.
it was like Sammy Coates for the Steelers was like Sammy Coates Jr.
know.
Sammy Coates for the
So
Roughnecks.
he's huge now?
Dude is he's playing receiver.
Like
So he's out there
Metcalf yoked.
tossing kids like
Like DK.
Like
yeah.
like Metcalf.
yes, but it's shorter. But it was still fun to watch. So shoot, you tell me when the NFL's over, and I just
Yeah.
watched the Super Bowl, and then I get to turn around and
Right.
like not stop watching football. Sign me up, bro.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sign
and
me up.
adding more teams playing, like the Canadian
then-
Football League coming down and playing.
And
I think
then
that'd be
and
great.
then they can end just in time for college football to start. Football all year round.
Well, college football is at the same time as the NFL.
Yeah, but then but doesn't it start a little bit before? Like
Maybe
they
a
have,
little bit before, like a
like
couple
little
weeks
bit?
before.
So
yeah.
you just in
That's a-
the new league just
That's a
right
win-win-win.
before, and you have football all year round.
Football year round.
Yo,
That's the best.
that's Sunday barbecues all year round.
And basketball is my favorite sport, but that's the best.
That's
And
Sunday
then apocalypse
barbecue.
happens and we miss it.
Oh,
'Cause
my
we go to
brain
heaven.
can't comprehend. Oh,
I think it's a
man.
good thing. I
That was
agree.
dope,
We'll
man.
see.
Oh, I'm so happy.
They're still in talks though. It's not for sure yet. So
I hope it
right?
happens. Yeah, they're still talking.
Yeah, no, nothing's official.
okay. All right. We'll see what happens with that. All right. Last topic of the day, and honestly, in my opinion, the best topic because I'm about to drop some knowledge on Wayne. And it's gonna be great.
I forgot what it was.
So again,
Why just me?
referring back to the group chat.
Racist.
you
Racism at its finest. Guiv.
caught me off guard. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh no.
Go ahead.
in the in the past week in the group chat, I think it was actually the same day as the Big Ben, as the thing that we had with.
Oh, I know where you're going. Let's get it.
Okay, so we started talking about quarterbacks, right? And I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I think this dude is. I mean, and it's not just me. I mean, let's be real. The Trevor Lawrence hype is real. We got analysts, we got, experts, Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, we got, Jaws, all these dudes, these dudes that are projecting this guy to be, this is the greatest prospect we've had since Andrew Luck. This is the greatest prospect we've had since John Elway coming out of the quarterback position. So, Lawrence is for real, right? And then we've seen everything he's done on the college level.
Per se.
We've seen everything he's done on the college level, and the guy's legit. I mean, he's about as sure of a
good quarterback.
But a lock, I guess, as you can get, because you really never know. These guys come out into the NFL, you really never know. But he's about as close of a sure thing as you can get, right? So we started. I was talking with Wayne. I was like, I think Trevor Lawrence has a shot to be better than Deshaun Watson. And Wayne went crazy. Wayne called me. I was insane. I should go work for ESPN with all my hot takes and
I still stand by that statement.
Like it's some insane idea. First of all, Deshaun Watson's not even the best quarterback in the NFL. Let's start there.
It doesn't have to be.
So when we're talking about a generational prospect like Trevor Lawrence, who's basically done everything you can do in college football, coming into the pros, I mean, there aren't that many people that have come out into the pros with as big of expectations as Trevor Lawrence. I mean, this dude is legit. I'm not saying some random QB from North Dakota State that no one's ever heard of. Be like, I think this dude could be better than Deshaun Watson.
Dak Prescott.
That's stupid. No, Carson Wentz is from North Dakota State.
Where Dak Prescott?
Mississippi State.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
This is legit. Like, this dude is legit. And me saying I think there's a chance. Now, am I predicting it? Am I saying he will for sure be better than Deshaun Watson?
Percentage.
No.
What percentage?
I don't.
My bad.
Look at you. Look at you.
Popping up on my phone.
You're interrupting me on purpose because I'm about to
give me a percentage of the chance that you think that he's going to be
he's going to be better than Deshaun?
Deshaun Watson.
I think we won't know for sure until maybe 3 years into his career because he's going to be a rookie.
I want your hot take now.
No, I can't project that right now. I mean, I can't project it at all actually because I don't know.
I think you do.
Because first of all, he's joining the Jags. Okay, and the Jags.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah, the Jags are drafting him number 1 overall. 1,000%. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But the Jags they have a lot of good young players, but they don't really have a lot of weapons on offense. They don't, they got Urban Meyer. We'll see what happens with that.
Did they trade Minshew?
Not that I know of.
So they have a mustache.
They have a mustache. That's true. So I think it's almost always an adjustment. Not always because Pat Mahomes came in and threw for 50 touchdowns his first year. So maybe that that could happen.
But was he drafted first round?
He was number 10. He was a 10th overall pick. But also Mahomes, the team that Mahomes was joining was insane. He had Tyreek Hill. He had Travis Kelce.
It's totally different.
The Jags don't have that. Right, exactly.
Baker Mayfield was picked
number 1 overall.
Right,
but that wasn't that year.
I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah, in general.
The number 1 pick usually isn't.
Right, exactly. And it takes a little bit. It's not always. But I think if you look at Trevor Lawrence and his potential, and even just coming out of college, compare Deshaun Watson and compare Trevor Lawrence. And Deshaun Watson was great in college. Won a national championship, went to the national championship twice, beat Alabama. The dude was insane. Never won a Heisman, but he's still an insane player. But if you compare them side by side, Trevor Lawrence was a better college player than Deshaun Watson. Better, way better.
Okay.
So me saying Trevor Lawrence could be better than Deshaun, who's a great QB in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. I think we did the rankings last week. I put Deshaun 3rd in my rankings for quarterbacks in the NFL. I think Deshaun is a fantastic QB. But I'm saying I don't think it's a stretch for me to say Trevor Lawrence could be better than Deshaun.
You can say that anybody could be better than anybody.
Thank you.
No.
But I want to know: are you saying that you think that he will, or do you think that he won't be?
I think
he has the potential. That's why I hate the word potential,
he has a chance.
man.
No, because Matt,
stop using political words.
No. Because this is what you're saying. You could say that about anybody, but it would be stupid of me to say I think Trey Lance could be better than Deshaun Watson because no one's projecting Trey Lance to be great. I mean, Trey Lance is some people like him, but the odds of that happening are very small.
Okay. Look,
I'm saying Trevor Lawrence has a chance.
When you sit here and you talk about potential, and you're like, oh, he has a potential to do this.
Yes.
He has a potential to do that.
I can't
That
tell you
word
for
is
sure
such
he's
a-
going to be, but this is why you're wrong, because he's saying Trevor Lawrence has zero chance of being better than Deshaun. How can you possibly say that?
Well, number one, I was saying that because I thought what you were saying was just completely out of pocket, and I don't believe that at all. Number two, I'm not
What?
on the Trevor Lawrence hype train like y'all think. Yes, I was wrong about him being not being better than Justin Fields at the beginning of the college football. Justin Fields is my guy. I think he's gonna be better than Trevor Lawrence. No, he wasn't. Did he beat him when it counted? Yes, but he wasn't better than him throughout the whole season. They only played like 5 games leading up to that anyway, so it's not like I had a lot.
It was
to
a
work
weird
with.
season regardless.
But
right.
When it mattered, Justin Fields stepped up. Trevor Lawrence didn't. That's cool. But for you guys, I'm saying you guys because all y'all on the Trevor Lawrence hype train, y'all just looking at him and you're like, oh, he's gonna take somebody to the promised land. He's such a great quarterback. This, and that, and whatever. But then for you to come out and put Deshaun Watson's name into it and say that he has potential to be better than Deshaun freaking Watson.
Yes.
DW4.
Yes.
DW40. This man is fire at quarterback, and you're saying that
I
Trevor
agree.
Lawrence has the potential to be better than him. How?
If Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the
Where?
potential to be better than Deshaun, then no one does. Because we're not going to get another quarterback coming out of college like Trevor Lawrence in the next 20 years.
I don't think any of the quarterbacks
Okay.
coming into
So-
this
so
draft
Deshaun's-
have a shot to be
So,
better than
so
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson's going to be the second
You
best
know what,
QB in the
Guiv?
league for
You
the
know
next
what,
20
Guiv?
years.
You know
No
what,
one's
Guiv?
going to come
You
out
know
that's
what?
going to be better
You
than
know what?
Deshaun.
You know what, Guiv? I'll say this just so you can. You know what? You know what? Never mind.
No, say it. Oh,
No,
don't go back.
no.
Go ahead.
no,
Don't.
not.
You
Say
gotta
it.
This
say
is a
it
PG
now.
pod. This is a PG pod. I'm keeping PG.
Fine.
All right.
Okay.
I'll give him a 15% chance to be better than Deshaun Watson.
Oh, okay.
There, so you can calm down.
Look,
It's still a disrespectful number,
Thank
but
you,
it's a
Wayne.
chance.
okay.
But it's an acceptable. It's not
this
crazy for me to say that.
this is what I would like
It's
to say.
15% not crazy.
Okay.
It's
Look.
it's acceptable.
No,
So
it's- yeah.
this is why
85%
I
crazy.
do not listen to all of the analysts
Exactly.
and the hot takes on who's coming in, who's going to be great.
You should have learned from
what-
Kwame Brown.
What did they say?
The first thing that popped in my
Great
head.
example.
The first thing that
What
popped in my
what
head, I
did
don't
they
know.
say
Yeah.
about Tom Brady? They said
well, nothing.
Oh,
they,
Mr.
no,
Irrelevant?
they said that he was weak, lacked mobility, had a horrible arm, couldn't throw, wasn't
Yeah.
very good. Right. And then he came out to be the GOAT, right? And then they
7 rings.
they've said that about so many first round.
Not
First-round
like
draft
Trevor
pick
Lawrence
quarterback.
though.
They have before though.
But not with this hype. That's why I'm telling you.
Look,
That's what I'm
people
saying,
have
the hype
come
was
in
too
with this
much. I'll
hype.
believe
No,
it when I
they
see
haven't.
it.
They
Not
farted.
with this hype. Look, who came in last year? Who was the quarterbacks last year? Tua, Justin Herbert. There was someone else too. Who? Oh gosh, I'm blanking. Oh, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was the #1 overall pick last year. Joe Burrow did not have the hype that Trevor Lawrence has this year.
Okay,
People were talking about Trevor Lawrence last year
But look,
and saying if
what
Trevor Lawrence
I
had come
am
out last year,
saying
you'd been #1 overall
is
pick.
that most of the greats, like the great quarterbacks, were not like
Some of them were.
the very first pick.
Like Peyton Manning was a #1 overall pick.
Okay,
Peyton Manning is my GOAT.
but I'm saying most.
John Elway.
Most were not.
GOATed.
You go ahead and hit the mute button.
Look. you want to hit your mute button because you're done talking or his?
No, me.
Okay.
I still stand by my.
I hear what you're
But,
saying though. I
like,
hear it.
this is
#1
why I don't-
overall pick doesn't guarantee greatness. I agree
which
with that.
It could be. Like, you have a great chance, I guess. You are picked #1, right? That's great.
But then
but
you got like the
Most of the time,
Jamarcus
right,
Russell.
you see a lot of people, they're like, oh, they just came out of Wisconsin State University. I don't even know if there's a Wisconsin State.
There
But
might be.
You have a lot of that stuff where, some kid comes out of the blue.
and they sneak up on you, and you're like, oh whoa.
They actually are under a great quarterback, and they actually learn quarterback from a great quarterback, and then they do amazing, like Aaron Rodgers. So
Well, Aaron Rodgers was a first round
And
pick.
to that point, Trevor Lawrence can learn from Gardner Minshew, the third.
and how to grow a mustache to go along with the flowing.
Trevor
locks.
Lawrence has a mustache too, bro. That's
Eh,
perfect.
Why?
He's already catching on. He's already reading the ebook.
That's so bad.
You know, at the end of the day, let me just say this to close. At the end of the day, Wayne admitted he was wrong, so I'm happy, and so we're good.
I was
That's-
15% wrong.
We'll take that.
85% right.
I'll take that.
Here's my percentage.
That's okay.
It's a disrespectful number, and I like it.
Here's my percentage. 2,
You think he has a 2% chance to be better than Deshaun Watson?
5.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you were saying here's your percentage too, like as well.
No.
You're giving him a 2% chance.
No, you missed.
See, that's-
No. He says 2 as in
Oh,
also.
also
And then
two
he
as in
said
also?
5.
No, as in 25.
25% chance.
Right.
So a quarter.
I don't even know if I'm following
What are we
anymore.
doing? I feel like we all failed math. Just now.
I said 2 and then I said 5. That's 25% chance.
Oh, 2, 5, 25. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
No one does math like that, Guy. I mean, Matt. No one.
I just took a while to say it.
Why?
Dramatic.
Look, I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna be great, man.
Look, I think
I
Trevor Lawrence will be
hate
fine.
that the
And you know
Jags are
what?
getting him.
And I'll always admit when I'm wrong, and I have no problem with that because it is what it is.
Right.
But I got a strong feeling I ain't gonna be wrong about this one, man.
You don't think he's gonna be as great as people say?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Do you think that he's going to win 8 Super Bowls? Yes or no?
Heck no.
The heck?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I have no idea.
Yes or no?
I can't answer
Yes or
that.
no? Yes or no?
Watch you be put on the spot right here, and you say no.
8
and then,
Super
and then-
Bowls?
Yes or
and
no?
then 10
Yes
years down the
or
road,
no?
and he has 9 Super Bowls.
Yes or no?
I can't
yes,
answer that.
Yes or no?
I can't answer.
Yes or no, Guiv?
Don't
I'ma
you
laugh.
point at me.
Guiv? Yes or no?
I'm not answering that question.
Guiv.
8? No, 'cause that's ridiculous.
All
I
right,
can't-
see? He's totally doesn't believe in
I
Trevor
mean,
Lawrence
Tom
anymore.
Brady-
No, you're right.
He
Tom
should
Brady
be
got
off
7.
of
You're
the
right.
He's
fan
43.
train.
Yes, you're right.
So
Either it's 9 Super Bowls or bust.
Guiv is not a Trevor Lawrence fan anymore.
Guy does not believe the hype. Guy
He
says
does
Trevor
not
Lawrence
stand by
is
his
actually
own
the worst-
beliefs.
The worst quarterback in the draft and should go dead
I think
last.
he'll win. I think he'll win at least 2. Let me say that.
Wow. I do.
That's high. That's a high.
That's
number.
his. That's his floor for me.
Wow.
That's how
That's
much I
his
think of this guy.
floor.
That's his floor. At least.
So
That's
his
what I'm saying. At
ceiling is
least.
10.
So if
I don't know
he
what his
just-
ceiling is.
So if he
Not
only
giving him
wins
ceiling.
1 Super Bowl, he's dead to you.
I think if he only wins 1 Super Bowl, he underachieved. Yeah.
All right, Trevor, you heard it here first. I know you're listening, bro. Guy says if you don't win at least 2 Super Bowls, you are a bust.
The pressure is
I
on.
didn't say bust. I said
You
bust.
are the worst quarterback to ever grace the NFL.
You don't belong.
Guy's words, not mine.
If you
I
only
said
win
underachieved.
1 Super Bowl and you break all the records, you don't belong in the Hall of Fame to give.
He absolutely belongs in the Hall of Fame if he breaks all the records and wins 1
Gosh.
Super Bowl.
I don't
All
like
right.
all this hype.
All right, we're gonna end the pod.
I
here.
can't wait for next season.
We're-
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. There's so many storylines. I love it.
I'm just ready to get Chick-fil-A from both of y'all.
Yeah, you stand by for the Patriots, getting the number 1 seed in the AFC, and
I'm getting Chick-fil-A on.
I'm
both.
so excited.
I might drive over to New Orleans and
So-
maybe hurt Jamie Winston
I g-
in the pinky toe, and so he can't play.
I have to
Wow.
write all these down.
I'd get Chick-fil-A
dude.
then.
Wow. Because you do that, and I go find Taysom Hill and be like, "Hey, bro, you want to come over? You want to come hang out with me? Come over here, buddy. Come over here." And then y'all just never hear from him again until after the season. Oh, where were you at? I was chilling with Wayne. Did the
Chilling.
season start? What happened?
Wait, yeah.
Who was out here chilling,
Don't ever mess with my guy.
playing Madden? You know,
2K.
where he could put himself in at quarterback.
Bills
go.
all the way. This is the year of the Bills. That's what I'm saying.
Bills Mafia. You gonna be lighting tables on fire and jumping through them?
No, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I love the Bills.
Patriots.
I think that the Bills will beat out the Patriots, and the Patriots will not be in the Super Bowl.
think it's gonna be
and the
good.
Bills will.
Hey, go Steelers! All right, and that's gonna end the pod today. We love y'all. Thank you for listening.
How about
If you
them
want to hit us
Cowboys?
up,
Sorry.
shut your mouth. Oh, the mute button. There it is. Yeah, Matt's muted again. He got muted twice in one pod. That's crazy.
That's actually less than what I thought. Well done, man.
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna end the pod here. You're unmuted. Chill. All right, both of y'all are muted now, and I'm the only one talking. So we're gonna end the pod right here. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you rocking with us. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter at @ENT_exchange if you want to get at us and let us know how you think we did during this pod. If you want to tell us we're wrong about something, which we probably are, or if you want to tell us we're right about something, go ahead. Let us know. We don't care. All right. But until next time, love God, love people, and we are out of here.